there's a definite difference between the original Essie Chastity and this Retro Revival one, apart from the fact, of course, this is an American one that has the narrow brush, and this is one from the UK, and it has the wide Essie brush that we have over here. There's a definite difference. I'll do a couple of swatches and I'll show you what I mean. Well, of course, the difference in the brushes at first. There's the narrow brush, and there's the wide ones we get over here. Let me see if I can put them side by side. Can we see them? Not very well. Can you see there is a slight difference? This one, I think this is the original, I think it's slightly more lilac-y. There's a slight more bluish tinge, and this one, well, actually the camera's not picking up the difference, but in person there is a definite difference, I can tell you that, definitely. Well, I did it on some paper as well. You can see there is a difference. There's a difference. This one's a sort of more warmer tone, and this one is a slightly cooler tone. That's the original. I wish the camera would pick it up. There's the original, I think, is a prettier colour, whereas this one looks a more subdued, a sort of muddy colour, I could say, but there's a definite difference in them. The camera's not picking it up as I'm looking at it, but in reality there is a definite difference which is noticeable. Oh, that's a shame, because the original Chastity is definitely nicer than the new Retro Revival one. Right, there's the original Chastity on the end, next to the new Chastity, compared then to L'Oreal's Acid Watermelon, and then Hula Hoop by Collection 2000. I actually prefer the L'Oreal's Acid Watermelon. I think it's a nicer colour. I'll have to try and lighten this video when I stick it into Windows Live Movie Maker, but I'm hoping you can see the general idea that there is a difference between those two, even though they're supposed to be the same. Maybe it's a slightly different formula or something, but I think the original's slightly nicer colour. Still nice. And there's Trop Ink on the end from Maybelline, the Colour Show ones. I like the Acid Watermelon best. And now I've added Lovey Dovey on the end by Essie. And so there's none actually. And you can see now the difference between those two, even though those two on the end, even though they're meant to be the same. There's some of my Essies. We'll go through these at some time. At some point I'll get around to it. I will. Promise. I will get around to it at some point or another. I will get around to doing my Essies. People who are interested probably will want to see them. Oh, so they've gone all over the place. They've fallen out. That's the problem when they've got those silly things, but yeah, I'll get around to doing these at some point. I'll put them back in now. So yeah, so there's another bag of Essies. Oh dear, I really need to go through these at some point in time. I do. So yeah. And now I've added Boom Boom Room by Essie, also by Essie on the end there, Boom Boom Room. So that is similar to Chastity. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I doing this? You can see there that Boom Boom Room has got a sort of resemblance to that Chastity. I like Boom Boom Room actually, it might be my favourite. And I have heard it said that Romper Room by Essie is a darker no, sorry, let me get this right. I've heard it said by nail polish gurus that Romper Room by Essie is a much lighter version than Fiji, but there's Fiji next to Romper Room, and Fiji is much lighter. This is Fiji and this is Romper Room. And I'll do a couple of swatches. Right, there's the swatches. There's Fiji on this side, the lightest one, and then Romper Room. And I'm not doing this to try and prove anyone wrong. It's it's just curiosity. And a little frustration with the nail polish company. Well, they're owned by L'Oreal, who own Maybelline, and look at the discrepancies with their baby lips, depending on which country. Anyway, never mind, that's a different subject. But as you can see, the Fiji is much, much lighter than Romper Room, at least in the ones that I have.